My name is Miriam Obegi. I am the general manager of this beautiful baby, the City Lodge Hotel at Two Rivers. We offer you comfort in style. The beauty about City Lodge is, number one, its location. We're located inside the Two Rivers Mall, the largest, biggest meat development in East Africa, which means City Lodge becomes a one-stop shop. You will come, stay here. We offer you the comforts of accommodation and hospitality as you would expect in any modern hotel in any city of the world, but still you get the advantage of going into the mall to do your shopping. We have beautiful shops, brand shops. You do your eateries there, you can do your entertainment there. So basically you don't have to worry about your security when you're in the hotel, that you have to go out for dinner and come back. You have to take a cab going shopping and coming back. So for us, the location is brilliant, and it has come to be loved a lot by our guests because they feel when you come and unpack your suitcase, you're done for your trip. You will pack again when you're leaving. And again, the beauty of the comforts that the City Lodge Hotel provides. You have comfortable accommodation. All our rooms are fitted with aircon, mini fridges. You have high-speed internet. So for a business traveler, you don't have to worry about connectivity. And we have in-room dining. We have beautiful conference facilities with state-of-the-art equipment, beautiful packages. Also, our rooms are connected with the modern and state-of-the-art equipment for all your conferencing needs. We have 4 conference rooms, 2 conference rooms actually, and 2 boardrooms. They may not be very big in size, but they are adequate for sizable conferencing within the town. I think for me, the differentiator of the City Lodge Hotel at Two Rivers is the people. Like any building or any hotel, buildings are made of block and mortar. But the difference of this hotel is the heart of the operation, and which is my team. And I'm very proud and very passionate when I talk about my people, because I think they're the best that I have. They're the best in the hospitality industry in Nairobi, and I can brag about them any day, anywhere. And why I say that is because you can copy everything in this hotel, just like you can copy anything in any hotel you visit. But the service you receive and the encounter and the interaction you get with the team on the ground is what makes you come back. People go back for people, and I believe our guests will come back here for our people. And I think for me, that is the biggest differentiator of the City Lodge Hotel.
Even though if it's the word control, even though if it's the word power, it is the word what motivates you. That's what brings balance to you.
Nadiya Manji is a Kenyan-Canadian author, an international speaker, and transformational life coach. Her book, Searching for Balance, is based on the internal journey she experienced following a serious car accident. Through her personal journey, she provides astounding insights on finding balance in life in the midst of the many challenges that life may throw your way, be it loss, trauma, broken relationships, or business failures. She walks the reader through a captivating twist on the link between logic, emotion, and energy, and how you can use it to align yourself to your purpose in life. Her book concludes with The Secret Formula for Balance in Life and Business. Nadiya has written this book for people who are trying to break through vulnerability and to improve their mental and emotional health.
If this word is not in your life or in your business you don't experience, you're going to experience imbalance. And that's where the balance is sitting. And that is the power of harmony. When your want is clear, you will have the will to find the way.
Good morning to you. My name is Catherine Mwangi. We are filming Books and Blogs this morning from City Lodge Hotel, located here at Two Rivers Mall. That's along Kiambu or Limuru Road, depending on which direction you're coming from. We are discussing balance this morning, a beautiful, beautiful book by an incredible author. Her name is Nadiya Manji. She's not here with us today, but we have read her book. We love it, and we hope to do justice to it. To help me do that is Winnie over there. Say hello. Just look at me and say hello to me.
You don't know which one to look at.
Yeah. And we have Shilpa as well.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Hi. You've done the hi thing.
Keep doing the hi.
and Mr. Oyuke.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks again.
So you've known Nadiya for how long again?
Over 16 years.
Over 16 years.
Yes.
So she's like family to you.
She's like an angel,
Wow.
basically.
Oh, she talks about angels here.
She is. She's a light
Yes.
that actually guides you to see the positivity.
Yes.
Align you, like this book says.
Yes.
Balance you, and teaches you to live in the present.
I
Like that. And Winnie, you know Nadiya?
Yes, I've known Nadiya for the last 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that's when she introduced the book to me.
Yes.
When she just launched it in Canada,
Yes.
and she needed me to come in and help out with the communication
All
and the
right.
Kenyan tour.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. So 6 months. So what is it like? What is it like being around her, Shupa?
She's got that positive energy. Yeah, she's someone that can hold your hand and take you through issues.
Yeah.
She can guide you. You know, then it's in your hands. It's up to the universe in your hands how you take that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone can only help you and guide you.
Yeah.
And then it's your intuition tells you which way do I go. There's always 2 ways of making a decision. So as you say, you have a gut feeling sometimes to say, no, this is not right or this is wrong. So you've got to actually listen to your inside, listen to the universe, and connect and follow it through.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just to add on what Zelfa said,
Yeah.
Nadiya is this person because she's a life coach, and so she guides people to embrace their internal processes, which is something she really emphasizes in her book. When you sit down with her, you get to feel warm and appreciated, like this someone really cares about me.
I got the same feeling from the book. Like, I was like, but why won't she even be on the show? Like, I would have so loved to meet her.
You'll have loved her.
I actually thought she was going to be here today.
You'll have loved her.
Yeah? I was like, I want to know this. I want her to be my best friend. Because, you know, she really breaks it down to the granular, like, of how we need to attain balance,
Yeah.
the things we are doing wrong, the things we need to fix, how to be aware.
When we are fully present in doing whatever we do, we experience balance. And how do we do that? We can only experience balance and be present when we are internally aligned.
I haven't met her,
Yes.
but you know, reading sometimes somebody's words can actually make you feel like you've encountered them.
Yes.
You know, and I think
Yes.
it's one of those things when you use words to literally like almost project your energy and who you are. You know, and it's something that I really even feel, you know, like you said, it would have been great to sit down with her.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But you read the book and you saw that, you know, she went through an accident.
Yes.
Same to you and same to you.
Oh, yes.
Which story do we start? We start with yours.
Oh man, you know, and I think even just when you go to the cover of this book, and
Yes.
you know, when it says searching for balance, what a near-death experience taught me about the secret formula of life and business. And then I read it, and she's talking about an accident on the road, and I was like, this is just like my story, because in January, I had an accident on the road. I was a passenger on a motorbike, and we fell smack dab in the middle of Mombasa Road, like one of the most dangerous roads.
That is
Mombasa
scary.
Road.
Highway.
Yes, and you know, because of shock, either fight or flight, physiologically I chose to fight. So I turned and faced oncoming traffic. I didn't even know I was doing that. I realized that like days after, you know, to see, okay, what's the threat? And I don't know how I made it to the sidewalk, you know. And because of shock, I was like, okay, let me just go back to work. I didn't realize my clothes were torn and I was bleeding. And then all of a sudden, I blacked out.
Yeah.
You know, so I saw her story,
Yeah.
and I was like, this resonates so much. That was the first thing that actually drew me to the book. I was like, okay, I've been here. Okay, how did she deal with it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Shupa, what's your story in relation to the accident?
Well, my story is something where you see death coming towards you. I was coming out of my driveway, going to pick up my son from school. I'm coming up. It's a steep hill. I have quite a heavy car. I'm making a turn to the right. I've already come out a quarter of the way, as we do, and I see this water tanker coming. I'm bombing it down. And I knew I had to carry on and turn. And I knew that the water tanker was going to come and take me. I just closed my eyes and just prayed and saw my son go through my eyes, saw my husband, saw my daughter, and then felt that bang. Yeah, at that moment I felt peace. I thought I'd gone. Yeah, not, you know, the car actually swerved around. And if you saw the impact it had on my car, I was lucky to come out without any scratches.
Not hard at all.
I had a tiny indent on my arm, and I was being told, no, you have to go to hospital, you have to go to hospital. But I said, I'm okay, I need to go pick up my son. I need to go pick up my son. My poor son's waiting at school for me. But that, when you know you're going to go, that's, I mean, you may have an accident on the road, but you don't know it's going to come. But this I knew was coming to me. Whoa, that really made me think about life, the fear. Yeah, the fear, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And in a split second, okay, if you're told you've got cancer, you've got something you can prepare. This was
Sudden, immediate.
sudden,
Yes.
immediate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which made you think that you have to live in the present. You cannot hang on to your past. You cannot think of the future. I was always a worrying person, thinking what's going to happen tomorrow. There were instances where my husband would not tell me we have to go somewhere at the weekend because he knew that I'd be going up and down like a yo-yo. But now I've come into my stride and taken it in my stride that it's okay, whatever happens, happens. It's meant to happen.
Yes. For me, the most powerful thing in this book is how she keeps emphasizing on live in the now.
Yes.
Like you're wasting so much time fretting or fantasizing about the future or what's to come. You don't even know what's to
You're
come.
procrastinating all the time.
Yeah. Yet the magic is in the now.
It
That
is.
was just.
And at her book launch, actually, when she actually sat and spoke to us, I've never ever felt so present anywhere else before. I go to talks, I go to meetings, but your mind is always wavering, or your phone, or whatever. This,
Alert.
my goodness,
Yeah.
it was like you didn't even have to meet her. Whatever she said went into
Was so
you.
powerful, yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak to us about the being in the now, Winnie. Like, what have you gleaned from her? You know, the two of you have been fortunate to hang out with her. So, in terms of like being present here, now, because it's not something you're just told to do and you do.
Yes.
It's a journey. What's that been like for you, where you learn and grow into being aware of, wait, this time, right now, is the most important?
Well, Catherine, for me, basically, and it's something that Nadiya really emphasizes on, and it's actually a chapter in the book. It's on chapter 4. She talks about vulnerability, embracing it.
Emotions are usually considered and perceived as weakness and vulnerability. We are wired to ignore the power of vulnerability so we can showcase the strength.
We live our lives trying to be perfect, or if you've undergone a challenge in your life, it affects your outlook of things. So like Zelfa said, you keep worrying about things, how they could be. And so being vulnerable, I think as a society we are taught getting vulnerable is a sign of weakness. Yes. And so we try to be strong. And so you miss out on enjoying life.
Yes.
And so I like that Nadiya actually says, if I might just read.
What page is that?
It's page 44.
44.
Yes.
Okay.
And she says vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. And I think that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually highlighted it. Yeah, it's my highlight. It's the same paragraph. I'm like, okay, keep reading. It's not weakness, she says.
Yeah.
And you're big on vulnerability.
Oh yeah, and I was just thinking about the very same thing, and how she's just tackled vulnerability. And I don't know at what point people thought that vulnerability is supposed to be only in the vocabulary of the female gender, and it's something that is very potent for me. Especially, I tell people that for a man in media, it's like we're not given the permission to be vulnerable, because the picture of masculinity has been painted over men, and it's just the whole picture of if you're vulnerable, then you're less of a man. you know. But I say that vulnerability is healing.
Yes.
You know, vulnerability is healing because vulnerability is not pretense. You can't grow from what you're pretending about.
You can't.
You know, you absolutely cannot. And even in chapter 1, page 15, she talks
Yes.
about avoidance is neglect.
Yes.
You know, and I think for me that's something that's very, very potent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the things that if you avoid, even as a man, you know, just trying to search for balance, it neglects certain things and you stunt. You know, people around you might call it growth, but you're actually stunting.
Exactly.
You know, because there are things that you're neglecting because you're avoiding vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I like the aspect that you brought up about gender, because looking at this book, the one thing that Nadiya really emphasized on, she was like, this is not a book for ladies.
Yeah.
And she's not in this discussion of empowering one gender against the other. And I love the fact that as a man you can really relate to this book.
Yeah.
Because I think it's something that we are losing as a society, where men are feeling left out on all the conversations because nothing is for them anymore. And we can't have empowered girls if we don't have empowered men to handle the
It's so
empowered
true.
girls.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
So once we learn to embrace the vulnerability, we learn to connect and relate better to ourselves and other people too. Now, I'm not saying that we have to show vulnerability. I'm only saying we have to embrace vulnerability.
So Shilpa, when you had the accident, what changed in your life?
A big part of me actually, because this is not the first experience when I've been close to death.
Oh,
The first experience was when my daughter was born in the UK. I had an inverted placenta because the students just poured and poured. I lost 3 pints of blood and went into a coma. So the only thing, you know, my husband, they told me it was a girl and I said Annika and I collapsed.
you
Okay?
named her and collapsed.
And I collapsed. My husband was the first one to feed her. I was taken into the theatre and, you know, they put everything back, brought me back down again. All of a sudden, I think after 3-4 hours, my blood pressure dropped again. So it was a very scary experience for my husband and my family. Obviously, when I woke up the next day, I was like as if nothing had happened. Yes, and the doctors are like, you have to take care, you need to take care, you know, take your time or whatever. But for me, it was like nothing had happened.
The moment, I'm still there. I mean, we all have gone to different pages, but I'm on page 13. Yes, living in the now, page 13. I like where, at the top there where she says, they always ask, where am I going? Instead, they should have asked, where am I right now?
Correct.
You know, and then she says that it all begins with our lives are, where am I in my life in this moment? What I want, why do I want it, when, how? So it has to be incredibly specific, David.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Because I often say, if we don't live our lives deliberately, we live in the deliberateness of somebody else's plans for us.
True.
You know. So if we're not deliberate about each and every step, each and every moment, what are we putting into our mind? What are we feeding
Correct.
ourselves? Then we will end up feeding from other people's energy, opinions, and things
Correct,
like those.
which we shouldn't be doing.
Absolutely, you know, because
And-
you have no power over what you're fed.
You don't.
You have no power.
And you're actually in control of your life, as Nadiya says in one of the chapters.
Yeah.
You're an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
writing your screen
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
So you can control it and know what the outcome's going to be if you're connected spiritually with the universe. Yeah, and I believe in that.
Yeah.
If you're internally aligned, connected to the universe, everything is possible.
Yes.
But the time has to be right.
The timing factor.
The timing factor.
Yes.
If it's not ready for you today, it's okay. It'll come when it has to come.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
push something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, don't force it.
Don't force it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason for it not being there right now. Yeah.
I like that.
And
like
it's amazing how this book is speaking to us
Yeah.
almost in the same way.
Okay.
It just took us to page 13.
Oh, look. Oh,
And I'm
dear. I'm reading you.
Exactly. And it's also a place that I highlighted as well.
Okay.
About taking charge of your life. And
Yeah.
she says very few people understand that they are the central actors of their
Yes.
lives.
See?
And
Yes.
they are the only ones with the power to change their life.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 It's speaking to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
think it
book is-
gives you that light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as she also says in one of the chapters about the void.
Yes.
And
Chapter 1.
Exactly. And you guys are just sharing about your experiences, your
Yes.
traumatic experiences, and it's through such experiences that we create voids or coping mechanisms, which actually lead us with imbalances.
Yes.
And I love the fact that she really focuses on how you can identify and fill that void so that you get the best outcome.
And I like that because, like, personally, like, I actually relate to what you're talking about, like the many instances. Because I've
Yes.
also had, if I can count like
Maybe-
4, you
Maybe
know?
we were the chosen ones.
You know, and the crazy thing is, I was speaking to someone recently, he's a psychologist, and even on the matter of the void, he asked me to do a trauma debrief. you
A
know.
trauma debrief.
Yes, a trauma
Okay.
debrief.
Uh-huh.
Even about the accident, you know, and they asked me, what does the word accident mean? And I said something that didn't happen deliberately. So he asked me, okay, will you get on a motorbike again? And I said, I don't think so. Then he asked me, okay, what is an accident? Something that didn't happen deliberately. So he was trying to get me to understand it was an accident, you know, not to assign blame, you know, because I was creating a void in me. You know, I was creating a void in me where fear was alive. And it affected me because after that accident, I almost drowned because I had a panic attack in the pool, because when I was floating, I realized my feet couldn't touch the ground. I had a panic attack, and so I started drowning because the picture that I had in my mind was myself back on Mombasa Road. So
Wow.
that came back,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So in part of dealing with the void is also that trauma debrief, you know, to analyze what are the things that are maintaining that void in me, the void of fear and anxiety and things like those,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Back to being fully present.
Your favorite chapter?
Yeah, we're not moving from there.
Chapter. You see, because of like, we do, I need to get the word, we've been cultured into just doing things for the sake of doing them, because either society expects a certain way or a certain, you know, has expectations of us, our parents have expectations of us,
Yeah.
our spouses, our kids, and so you find we do things like in this motion. And she talks about her story when she was thinking about it on a flight from Amsterdam to Calgary.
Yeah.
She kept saying like, I'm there for everybody else apart from myself, you know? So it was such a powerful moment for her, and I could relate to that because you're like, you serve everyone, from your clients to your husband, to your kids, to your neighbors, your relatives. What about you? So she started to identify those voids, like David is saying. So she gives that story as she goes. We'll get to that story. But I like something she said here, which was like, this is so true. Because she said, on page 15, clearly we're not moving. She says, so the art of being fully present is about showing up 100%. Show up with your full self. You may not see it, but wherever you're meant to show up and you don't show up by being fully present, people notice. That's right, they can see.
We seem to just be in this rat race socially, work-wise, that we have to be here. We forget,
Yes.
that we have to keep ourselves happy
Yes,
and have solitude, like she said.
Yes.
If you don't have solitude, time for yourself,
yes.
there's just no point, because you don't have time to actually take in what you're doing. And you're not 100% everywhere if you're running like this. You're not giving your 100%.
It's true, yeah, you're split
You're
among so many
splitting.
things.
And then you don't even accomplish your goals.
anything.
Yeah, because you're half here, half there.
Yeah, quarter
That's
there.
it.
It's true.
So you're not in the present anyway.
No.
Yeah,
We
you're
split ourselves
fitting.
so much, by the way. We do.
And then we end up having the least bit percentage to us.
Yes.
Everybody has more of us than we do of
And
ourselves.
then our bodies get emotionally tired, physically tired.
Do you know she said that? There's somewhere in the book where she said sickness is a result of misalignment between the emotional and
Correct.
And spiritual.
and spiritual.
Yes.
Like internally, you're not
It's
aligned.
it's the pain from what you're holding on to, the emotional, you know,
The void.
yeah, the voids. She says you have to, like a computer,
Yeah.
you know, start getting rid of things
Yeah.
from
Emotional
your
junk.
mind. Yeah, emotional junk.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
word.
the word.
Junk, yeah.
Emotional junk.
Yeah.
Now, when you don't do
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah, you're feeling the pain. It's like spasms. Where do you get spasms from? It's stress and something you're holding on to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I hear you.
you need to learn to let go.
Yeah, we move a bit slowly. Page 17, where she says, my void was filled with multitasking. Then she asks, what are you filling your void with?
Yeah.
Because the voids are there. So hers was multitasking.
See, multitasking.
Splitting yourself
Yeah.
across a million things. And she says, you also have a void. And what is yours filled with? Because then when you know what it's filled with, then you know what you need to do to fix things from internally. So for multitaskers, which is what we are 100% of the time.
That's what we're doing.
We try to juggle and manage a lot of stuff in daily life. So we manage and juggle externally so we can feel balanced internally, right? And how do we do that? You can see in this slide, me time, marriage, work, family, everything you have to juggle and manage. And we use it through time, energy, and money. And how do we use that is by multitasking. Now, multitasking is no tasking if it is not done with full attention, presence, and awareness. So what happens? We try to do everything and end up doing nothing.
She asks, why do we want it all?
I think anxiety and fear, you know,
That was powerful.
Fear of missing
The
out.
millennium
you know,
time.
and the
We're
funny-
competing with the millennials. That's
know,
what we're doing.
And I think it's also like a lack of identity, because
Yes.
if you are looking at everybody else from the from the perspective of I want what they want,
Yes,
you know, I want
that's
the
wrong.
opportunities they're chasing,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
there's a place in your identity that isn't solid, you know, because you shouldn't be a reflection of everybody else.
No, you shouldn't.
You know, and like how she's talking about her void was filled with multitasking. Multitasking for very many people is not because they're efficient,
Yes.
but it's because they want their hands everywhere.
want
So that if
everything.
something drops, you have
Yeah.
something else.
That's what she's asking, why do we want it all?
Yeah, you know, it's
I mean, I
because-
read that, I just put the book down.
then there's that quote, never put all your eggs in one basket.
yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So then where are you? What are you doing? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then so you're multitasking as well, putting doing this, doing
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
hoping something works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still on that quote. Someone needs to move me. Someone needs to move to the next.
I liked what he said about sometimes we do that because of lack of identity. And I think that is what characterizes most of our situations, where you haven't really figured what you are good at, and you give it your all and you become a master of that. So you want to try a little bit of everything so that, you know, you're just relevant.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it comes from a failure perspective as opposed to a success perspective, you know, because your failure perspective will tell you try 7 things in case 6 fail,
Correct.
you know, but a success mentality will tell you do those 2.
Yeah.
You're efficient and you can be
Yes.
effective, you know.
And you
And
don't
it's
have to do
over
them
and
all.
over.
Yes.
Yeah.
you know.
And you
get
can
it.
learn.
Yeah.
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 If you focus on
Yeah.
2, you can learn.
Yeah.
And engage your mind properly.
Yeah. I like what she says here. It's this caricature on page 39.
Oh, we've moved.
Finally,
I jumped.
Jump.
before
Where
we go
she's
back.
asked, you know, throughout the book, she asks
Yes.
this very short, poignant,
Yes.
powerful question that they just have you just drop the book first to really think.
In fact, she says it's an exercise. So once you read, that's the punching. She wants you to stop and reflect.
Wow.
Well, then she succeeded with me. So I'm like, whoa.